Today on CityCast Philly, it's sweater weather and soup season. I'm talking with CityCast Philly's food contributor, Dave Wes, about his top 10 favorite soups you've got to order and eat right now. It's Tuesday, October 17th. I'm Trenae Nuri, and here's what Philly's talking about. Dave, welcome back to CityCast Philly.
Good to be here.
What makes a soup, and then what makes a stew?
That's a really good question because they're very similar when you start thinking about it. But I didn't go to culinary school. I'm not classically trained, but in my brain, the way I think is if the broth ratio is higher, that is a soup. But if the stuff in the soup is a higher ratio, like meat, potatoes, onions, carrots, if that's more than 50% and that rules, then that's a stew. That's how I go.
Gotcha. I recently made a beef roast, and someone told me, well, Trenae, because you put a lot of carrots in there, now it's a stew. So I was like, okay.
Oh, it's the carrot ratio.
It might be the carrots.
Okay.
All right, let's take a soup tour in Philly. Where should we start?
I think we should start in Chinatown. There's a lot of good soups, but I have one that's close to my heart that we'll start with. So Sang-Ki, they're known for their duck.
Okay.
But they also have amazing soups. Whenever I'm sick, this is the soup my girlfriend buys me. And you can call it a wonton soup, but it's not just a wonton soup because it comes with pork, their duck, and then wontons and some vegetables, all in a nice hot broth. It'll bring you back to life, I promise.
And I love that. I was going to say soups are like essential for this season when everyone's sick. So grab this soup. Okay. One of my favorite soups is ramen. Where can I go in West Philly to get some ramen?
I would check out Terakawa. They make an exceptional ramen. I love them because their broth is really, really good. I would say better than a lot of other places. And I get the tantan when I'm there, which is the ramen noodles, spicy broth, and then grinded up pork pieces. And then if you don't eat pork, they also do it with chicken. It's probably my favorite there. And I like to go to the University City location, but they also have another location in Chinatown.
Awesome. Okay, take me down to South Philly, Dave. Where should we go?
All right, so let's check out West Passyunk, one of my favorite places, Cafe Nan, where they have the Bumbaway, which I think I'm pronouncing it right, but they have an extraordinary soup. It's not for everyone. It's more for your advanced eaters, I would say, because it has beef brisket, pig feet, blood cubes, and lemon with a lemongrass broth, a spicy lemongrass broth.
Okay, that's a lot of ingredients in that one.
If you don't want to go hardcore into some serious flavors, you can get like regular pho with like just brisket and noodles, and they have a kids version too if you really don't want to go too crazy.
Okay, speaking of pho, where can we go if we're looking for that?
I would go to Pho 75. Their bowls of pho are about the size, like bigger than my head. And those of you who don't know my head, it's big. Like it's a big bowl. I feel like it's a gallon of pho. And then you have the option to put more noodles in if you want extra noodles. They have all the condiments on the table. It's seriously, like I have friends that'll just split a bowl between two people because that's how big it is.
Oh, wow. I'm not sharing my soup with anyone.
Yeah.
What about in Queen Village?
We'll go 4th Street Deli, and they're making an amazing matzo ball soup. The matzo ball itself is probably the size of like a baseball, if not a softball. And that's another thing, like liquid penicillin. If you're feeling sick, that's another place I'll order. I might do one of each, depending how sick I am.
Now, I got to ask you, when I'm sick, I like to add spicy elements so that I can start sweating out my cold. So I'll add some hot sauce, a little bit of crushed pepper. Do you like your soups hot, or do you like them kind of more savory or bland?
Well, normally spicy, make it spicy. But if I'm sick, depending how sick I am, I don't do as many spices or hot sauces. What's your favorite hot sauce that you put in your soups?
I love Cholula.
It's
I love
good.
Cholula hot sauce. Pretty much any flavor that they have, I love.
That's really good. I love that on my tacos.
This episode is brought to you by Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic, a 2-in-1 probiotic and prebiotic formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains to support healthy regularity and your gut, immune, and skin health. Optimize your gut health. Visit seed.com/Spotify with code Spotify for 30% off your first month of Seed's DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Maruchan superfans are everywhere. From the busy moms who want to deliver maximum flavor in a flash to dorm room diners who want to put some slurp in their step. There are a ton of copycats you could use. But if you want to bless your bowl, there's only one true Maruchan. Whether you choose instant lunch, ramen bowls, yakisoba, or restaurant quality gold, Maruchan is the only ramen worth obsessing over. Smiles for all. Maruchan. See what all the ramen hype is about at maruchan.com.
If I'm in Old City, where can I get a good cup of soup?
Ooh, so for Cynthia, makes an amazing French onion soup. So it's got all the components you want. You want the onions, the broth. The broth is actually made, they have duck in it, so it has that really nice savory flavor to it. Then they have the piece of bread, and then they have the cheese that's super melty, and you just pull it up. Makes great for cheese pulls. It's definitely my favorite French onion soup in the city.
Do they serve it in that special little cauldron cup
Yeah,
thing?
a little crock.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't be official if it didn't. Or come in a nice bowl.
Dave, do you have any recommendations for places we could get soup in Center City?
Yeah. Center City, I would go to the Oyster House. They have a really good clam chowder there. And if you get the bar seat, you can get a seat right in front of the oyster shuckers. So you can get some oysters, some sweet amalias, have a little show as he cracks them open, and then have some nice soup there too.
I like that. Okay, this list has been so amazing, Dave, but I've got a recommendation for you. You got to go to the Couch Tomato in Manayunk.
Couch Tomato. I haven't heard of that one yet.
Yeah, but you got to go during lunch because there's no one in there. Order a cup of tomato soup or chicken chipotle soup. It will warm your soul. So if you're sick, perfect soup. Get a grilled cheese if you want to add something else. I love tomato soup with grilled cheese.
So they sell grilled cheese there, so you can add it on and do a little dippy time in that?
Yes, you can.
You sold me.
Yeah.
Next time I'm in Manayunk or sick, I'll definitely check them out.
Awesome. That's Dave West, CityCast Philly's food contributor and food curator of Feeding Time TV. Thank you so much for all these recommendations and for joining me on CityCast Philly.
As always, thank you for having me.
We'll have a list of all of these soup recommendations in the Hey Philly newsletter. That's all for today here on CityCast Philly. If you enjoyed this episode about the best soups in the city, tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to sign up for our morning newsletter, Hey Philly, to learn more about what else Philly's talking about. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye.